going to ice
and welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to World Team League Summer Codes Round 8, our second match of the night. Hope you all took that moment to hydrate, hydras, massage all your Marines. I know I did. After a very hot, a very intense series, but now we're not done. We're only halfway through the night. We have another before us.
Yeah, that's right. And these are going to be some fantastic games as well. As I saw some people saying in the chat, we are very spoiled today, as we're going to be kicking things straight off with Team Liquid versus PSISTORM. 20 in the top right-hand corner of the map. For Team Liquid, this is our blue Protoss. I was going to call him yellow. It's just a very yellow skin. It is SKillous.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ancient System, we have his opponent. We have the Polish Terran player representing PSISTORM Gaming. This is his debut, by the way, in World Team League for his new team. It is Spirit. And honestly, with this pickup, with Spirit now representing PSISTORM, suddenly they go from maybe a middling team to a team that can threaten the top of the pack. With a team with Spirit and MaxPax and Special and so many others, like, suddenly they have a pretty good roster.
Yeah, Spirit going to be filling the void here left behind by Gumiho and really bolstering the roster here. And suddenly what might have been a bit of a wash in this matchup is now looking like a very competitive set.
Oh yeah, exactly. And we'll see how this first one does unfold. SKillous and Spirit, some of the best players that Europe has to offer, are going to be going at it here in this best of two. And I'm very excited. I know Spirit has been very informed recently, but so is SKillous.
Yeah, that's right. SKillous has been looking great. He is very promising Protoss coming out from Europe. I would say probably the next best after Showtime and MaxPax. He does kind of distinguish himself from the rest of that pack of players down in that kind of just below top pro.
Actually, I'm curious. I want to get your opinion on this because I think we both kind of settled on SKillous. He's like top 3 Protoss in the EU, but with the recent performances of Spirit, I know maybe it's too soon to say, but has he overtaken Hero Marine yet? Is he on the way to success? Is he on the road to becoming top 2 Terran in EU? Oh.
No, I don't think so. I still don't really think it's too close between them. I think Hero Marine's just a little bit too consistent just in general. I mean, Spirit, even... Let's just say someone like Wayne. Like, I could see Spirit getting 2-0'd by Wayne, where I don't really see Hero Marine getting 2-0'd by Wayne that often.
Yeah, I agree. I do think that Spirit still... His peaks are quite high, but as you were saying, like, his consistency still needs to be worked on as well, as he can sometimes stumble against some of the other lesser tier players. So we'll see if he can pull that, or we'll see what kind of form he's in tonight in WTL, especially considering what he's up against, as SKillous does go for a Phoenix opener.
Yeah, I would say as well, though, it's mostly because Hero Marine has been continuously getting better. If Hero Marine hadn't been improving, I would say that SKillous would be at the same level as him now.
Yeah, exactly. As Hero Marine has been putting in a lot of work recently as well. Behind this, Spirit did go for a Rax Expand, is setting up for his 1-1-1 as well. Winter Mines are on the way. Same with those Medevacs, so nothing too crazy here, nothing too out of the norm out of these openers.
Yeah, extremely standard build coming out from Spirit here. He's going to be putting a little bit of pressure here on these units, but I think it is important that, okay, there we go. He does need to make sure that he is going to be getting that scout with the Reaper. Yeah,
and he does dive into the middle line. He does confirm the tech of choice as well as the Phoenix being produced. The Reaper does go down, but hey, he gets 3 worker kills. Not too bad here from SKillous.
Yeah, straight away we see a reaction coming out from Spirit. He's going to be making a Viking. Doesn't want to commit to that mine drop either. So we are just going to be having a very standard game coming out from these two players. But eating a mine there, and the mine's going to be repaired as well. So it's not enough, but it might confirm the kill on this. Phoenix almost. These two Phoenix being so low is already significant.
Yeah, it really is. Even when we do have a big engagement, it's not going to take too much for them to go down in the middle of a fight. So a bit of an overextension from SKillous.
Yeah, 100%. He is going to continue to be active with this Phoenix, which I think is great. He needs to keep an eye on the Army of Spirit. He needs to make sure that there's no push coming his way, which there could still be. Often when you do recognize that it is a Phoenix opener like that, you kind of just grab everything you've got and go across the map. So I think it's possible that after a Medevac and a tank, we could be seeing that from Spirit. But no, we are just going to be seeing him grabbing his add-ons and just pretty calmly going into a very standard setup here. I think Spirit is one of those players who is not too phased by something like Phoenix Colossus just because he does welcome late game.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I know a lot of players can feel really pressured or stressed kind of going into a more all-in scenario or trying to punish the Protoss player for their greed, but no, Spirit, he likes it, man. He's fond of it, as SKillous is going into that Phoenix Colossus. We have the Bay on the way, a Safety Immortal is coming out as well, just in case, but SKillous is headed in that direction.
Yeah, it's going to be a very quick third CC going down for Spirit, so he is kind of indicating here that he's not in any rush to get his push going.
Exactly, you know, if only we could all be as cool, calm, and collected as Spirit is in TVP. Phoenixes do get eyes on this, the Overseer as well, so the Observer as well. He's going to be able to delay the CC a little bit, but oh, he does lose a Phoenix.
Yeah, he does. One Phoenix going down, so I like that he's reproducing this. But at the same time, every Phoenix pick-off here is really big for Spirit.
Yeah, it really is. At this stage of the game, there is just so few units available for SKillous. He is so heavily reliant upon these Phoenixes for slowing down the army, for picking off some of those high-tech units as well. And he has to be very careful as, a little bit of mispathing. The second Phoenix goes down.
Yeah, that was a little bit strange. This Observer sees that army, so I'm surprised that he did kind of float his way on into that, but Spirit is going to be putting on some pressure very early. This is a pretty interesting attack that he's going for here. Looks like he just wants to establish a bit of presence on the map here. Doesn't necessarily have to get too much done with it.
Yeah, but your SKillous, he has so much vision. There are pylons in position. Looks like they'll be forcing an unload from Spirit. The Phoenixes are on the way as well to try and shut this down, but they have to be careful because there is a mine. Oh.
Yeah, they pick up the mine. He's going to be losing one Phoenix for a full drop. I think that's an okay trade here.
Oh. Yeah, as we do have.
Oh, he doesn't get the medevac. Okay, that's a pretty bad trade.
Yeah, the medevac survives. Reinforcements show up. The pylon will go down, and now Spirit is going to be threatening that fourth base. But we have the Colossi. SKillous should be able to fend this off.
Yeah, and there we could kind of see an opportunity that arose from Spirit just being out on the map. Obviously, with that Colossus, he can't really take a head-on fight here, but he can make opportunities for himself just by being on the map and being present.
Yeah, exactly. Just picking up whatever units he can, whether it's a Phoenix or two here or there, a pylon, a delayed base, even just keeping SKillous at home as Spirit is able to expand and take his third base on location. Spirit does reinforce on the front lines, and he's looking to rotate around and look for another opportunity.
Yeah, okay, so this is very interesting. It looks like we have a very even match coming in here. Spirit is going to be throwing down his second starport quite early, just on 3 bases. This is something that's become a little bit more popular lately. Instead of going into kind of like a 4cc setup very quickly and going more heavy on the bio, players have been prioritizing getting the Viking production going a bit earlier against this kind of composition.
Yeah, exactly. Going into all those Vikings, I mean, we have multiple purposes for them, right? We can take down the Phoenixes, we can contest against those Colossi as well, and they're also not the worst unit to use in a more harassment sense as well, you know, once the main army does crumble, if we do get to that stage. So yeah, we'll see, as there are quite a lot of those Vikings in production.
Yeah, I think the main idea here as well is just to have enough Vikings that they can focus down the Colossus despite being attacked by Phoenix. So I do think this is kind of a one-and-done army that Spirit's working his way towards, where he just wants to take one big fight and win that fight.
Yeah, we'll see if he's going to be able to pull it off here. For the time being, we do see a fourth base being taken on location for Spirit. Ghost production has commenced, and we have ship upgrades on the way. Meanwhile, SKillous is going to be mixing in a couple of DTs.
Yeah, the base on location makes a lot of sense here. He has so much map presence. We're going to see, yeah, those Phoenix kind of float into the mine there. Are going to be taking another shot, but SKillous has made so many of them. I think he's going to be okay. 5th going down on location, and the DTs is where this gets a little bit scary. If SKillous can make it difficult for the Terran player to stay on a 4th, with those DT run-bys, with just being active on the map with Colossus, he could run away with this game.
He really could, but before that happens, he's pushing up a ramp. A lot of Zelts are going to be going down.
Oh my goodness, that was an insanely good trade there for Spirit. Takes out so many Zealots, even snipes down a Colossus there. So SKillous just getting out positioned there a little bit, and that just comes about from how active Spirit's been with his units. Despite Spirit not ever really looking for a fight against the army, he's just been so active.
Yeah, and this isn't the first time where SKillous has been a little bit inattentive to his army as well, just not really anticipating the army on top of the ramp and pushing on forward anyway, taking a really rough trade. But disruptors are now out, and we've all seen how disruptors can help make up for a supply deficit, so Spirit still has to be very careful with his army movement, as we're not just getting into double disruptor production, we have a third robo on the way as well.
Skillus's army looks kind of small here. I wonder if Spirit was able to split his army in two and harass both sides of the map if he could get something done, but it's actually Skillous that's going to be taking the initiative here, going for a bit of harassment with the Prism. Not going to be getting too much with it, as we see two of those Phoenix go down as well.
Yeah, once again, the Phoenix do go down. We do have a little bit of Zealot harass here at the third base, but it is going to be cleaned up. We do have a bunker in position. Meanwhile, the flanking disruptors up.
Oh my god, the flanking disruptors, what a crazy move, and it's going to be paying off big time, but both the Colossus going to be going down despite that overcharge. You can see the massive Viking really paying off, and without those Colossus, his army suddenly looks a lot more exposed here.
It really is, but again, that was such a good move out of SKillous to actually make up for that supply deficit that he did once have. The Colossus count is reset, but now it's all about disruptors.
Yeah, that disruptor flank was crazy. That was a really cool move, using the topography of this map as well. There's so many high grounds all over the place. That's something that's going to be pretty scary for the rest of the game now for Spirit.
Yeah, it really is, as the disruptors for SKillous do allow him to hold on. Meanwhile, he gets his fifth base up and running. He's working on his sixth as we speak as well, towards the top left. And he has a little bit of time to breathe here, a little bit of breathing room as Spirit rotates back around, is looking to get into another or his own fifth.
Yeah, Spirit going to be splitting up his army, but oh my goodness, that is a lot of Zealots.
Mass Zealot Rama here. It does get at least caught out by Spirit, so he is fully aware of that. Meanwhile, the main army is going to be threatening the fourth base as well. That is so many disruptors. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's a really scary army to engage. I feel like you need to take us around if you want to take this kind of fight against this army. Spirit's just going to be jumping straight on top of it. The splits are okay, but I feel like that's not exactly the trade that you're looking for just two disruptors, especially when there's so many left.
Yeah, exactly. We do have maybe a bit of a surround being set up, but no, these reinforcements do get caught out. One Ghost is going to be going down for free, but Spirit is coming from behind.
Oh, yeah. Skillus's army movement up to this point was so good, but he kind of surrounded himself there.
Yeah, a little bit of the Vikings, they do land as well. The disruptors are going down at the same time. The Zealots also coming from behind.
Yeah, here come the Zealots. The EMP is not quite landing. I think he actually EMP'd his own medevacs there, and the Zealots are just chopping through everything on the ground here. Spirit suddenly in a little bit of trouble. He is going to be shaving off some of those Zealots, and he did get quite a few disruptors, so this game remains in the balance.
Yeah, exactly. At the same time, though, a massive DT counterattack. Oh my god. It feels like the last patch, as the DTs do just annihilate that planetary, and they even get the hell out of there.
Yeah, I mean, it's still good. The DT blink change doesn't really change that much.
You don't see it too often anymore. Don't see it too often until now, though. We do have another Zealot run by. We do have a surround on the bunker. We do see Spirit is committed or forced to be committed.
Yeah, I will say, I think the reason we don't see it that much is because people play so aggressive now in this matchup. But Spirit, you know, he's always liked to go for late game, and props to him. He's brave.
Yeah, brave. Is it brave?
Oh no.
Is it something else as he gets fully surrounded by these Zealots? The blink on the DTs as well, cleaning up whatever doesn't fit in these medevacs, as Spirit does go for a massive doom drop, but we have a recall.
Yeah, it's no anti-air.
There is no anti-air. Spirit, fun fact, he actually hasn't scouted top left, so he doesn't know about the 6th base. Solid EMPs on this army is going to be able to pick up, and yeah, he can just keep dropping.
Yeah, importantly though, Spirit saves his units, so they're somewhat safe. I mean, they are trapped in a pretty awkward position, but I don't think there's enough anti-air to really put him in any danger here.
We're making that one Phoenix that you love to help deal with these drops. Here we go. We are landing once again into the main base. solid EMP on these DTs, but the DPS is just too damn high, and oh my god, he's being cleaned up.
Yeah, not a bad trade for stock units, I don't think, but SKillous is going to continue to put the pressure on, and Spirit hasn't been able to get a 5th mining, and SKillous is on 6, almost 7 mining bases here, so pretty scary situation for the Terran.
It really is. Thankfully, though, we do see barely any SVs going down. The 4th base does hold on. The 5th is under threat, and oh, that 1 DT is chipping away, does blink away as well from the planetary. As Spirit finally has eyes on the top left base.
Yeah, really important that he gets these medevacs back safely. Those are his only medevacs right now.
Yeah, 1 medevac does go down in the retreat. We do have the army simming on forward, does depower the shield batteries, but he has to be very careful here not to get surrounded again. He doesn't have a lot to work with.
It's going to be taken out. These libs are a really important kingpin for the Terran army here, just because there is so little anti-air, and with all these disruptors on the field, these liberators are going to be really good. They're going to be really useful in this situation. That is something that's going to keep this game under control for Spirit.
Yeah, it really is. His Liberator cannon is getting higher and higher. He's going to try and go for another drop as well. Looks like, oh, it has been spotted. It will be shut down by SKillous.
Yeah, the reactions from SKillous, he is so quick. We do see those Novas going on now. Not going to be connecting on anything, but don't connect on Protoss units, so could be worse.
Could be worse. Good splits out of Spirit. Oh my god, but it may not matter in the end. There are just too many Stalkers anyway, as we're going to be losing Marauders. We're losing Ghosts as well. It looks like the Stalkers are going to barely be cleaned up.
Yeah, beautiful splits from Spirit. That was really nicely taken, that fight.
Oh yeah, it could have been so much worse for him, and well, Spirit has been able to get his 5th base saturated. Like, his economy is now looking better than ever, to be fair, keeping on par with Spirit. With SKillous even. And yeah, he's gonna be able to preserve that Liberator count as well.
Yeah, this is... I love this. These two players are so evenly matched.
They really are. They're still keeping up with each other. The mass Delts and DTs that we saw earlier were cleaned up for the most part, and now things are neck and neck once again.
Yeah, Spirit's looking very exposed on the right side of the map. He's been doing a really good job of just kind of having just enough and having good enough micro to trade out with these units on the left, but I think he is a little bit exposed on the right as a result.
Yeah, and speaking of, here we go, the DTs, they do blink on forward. We have the mass repair on the planetary. It looks like it will survive.
Oh, the surround as well. Using SCVs to trap those DTs against the PF. Very cute stuff there.
Oh my god, and just like that, did cost a lot of workers. 13 SCVs did go down, but at least the planetary survives.
Planetary survives, and I think 5 or 6 DTs go down as well, so not bad at all, as it looks like, yeah, SKillous just going to change sides here. I think that's a fantastic move. Spirit's not tracking this.
Yeah, we have the rotation, DTs towards the left. We have the main army towards the right. Spirit is actually going to be segmenting off this base, so he's going to be able to get down the Nexus.
Yeah, Nexus is going to be going down. We have the Lib harassing the base. It's under attack, so kind of funny moment there. I guess he just queued it up.
Oh, same time those DTs are coming on in. It looks like they're looking to not just get the planetary, but they take down the entire Mineral Lion.
Yeah, so many SCVs going down as this is going on. The Disruptor is going to be getting on top of the bases. All the Skillous, all the Spirits, initiating the base trade very early. Spirits so far out here. There's going to be enough time for SKillous to take out a few bases, and he might even be able to recall if he wants to. So yeah. I think SKillous is getting the best of this so far.
He really is. I mean, sure, we're trading 2 bases for 2 bases, but SKillous is already pushing in towards the natural. But no, the Liberators do come out in time. 3rd base is going to be going down. This is the main, by the way, so Spirit has to be very careful to keep that CC alive. We may even be looking to run out of scans, and there are still DTs in play.
Yeah, that's a really good point. He needs to save this because he needs energy for scans, and he really doesn't have much of that, which can be a pretty scary thing in the space trade situation. SKillous is down to less than 30 probes. Spirit is down to less than 20 SEVs, so it's going to come down to what armies they have here.
Yeah, exactly, and so far the splits,
oh my god, the splits.
That's insane against these Disruptors. We actually don't have any DTs alive remaining yet from SKillous anymore, so he's going to have to work them in. Meanwhile, across the map, he's trying to break into the natural base. Well, I don't know, this is not the best trade for SKillous. He loses so much to Libs.
He loses everything, and yeah, we saw those MiG splits there as every single Stalker going to be going down to those Liberators. They do, of course, two-shot them there with that +2 upgrade, and oh, this is such a brilliant move. He can use the Libs to protect the ramp, and the Bio can just take out everything. Spirit is playing this out wonderfully, and I don't know what SKillous can do about this, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he's got a couple of Stalkers sure, but the Disruptors, they can't get anywhere near this. The Novas, they're going to be sent out, but no, we can zone away. Stalkers try to focus on whatever Liberators they can.
Oh. And that's almost all the Novas that have been committed. Okay, he can go now. There's no more Novas.
Oh, just one Nova remaining, and there we go. GG gets called, and Spirit will take game 1.
Holy, that was a crazy game. I really didn't think Spirit was going to win that.
Things were looking really dire. Things were looking really dire at a certain point when SKillous did get surrounded by those flanking disruptors. It felt like from that moment, his opponent got quite a lot of momentum. Not just that, it was soon after that where we saw the mass DT counterattacks, bases falling left and right, but no, Spirit was so tenacious that game. Like, he just was unrelenting despite what he was up against.
Yeah, that was very impressive. He pretty much gave SKillous everything he wanted, and SKillous took that as well. Like, he was making the most of it, but despite that, Spirit was able to get the win.
Yeah, very well done. GG, well played. Spirit does get the win in the end for game 1, but that is merely only game 1. We still have another game ahead of us. SKillous, it's going to be his map of choice, and he has picked Altitude.
All right, we are taking to the snowy heights here, and should be, yeah, okay, SKillous has picked Altitude. I feel like we're going to see a very similar game now.
Oh, we really could. I think we can both see Spirits being like more economic focused and oriented on Altitude, just like the previous game. Similar to Ancient Sister, you know, they're both large maps, and it wouldn't be surprising if Spirit plays the same. But what about SKillous?
Yeah, that's a good point. SKillous does play that kind of style a lot, but I feel like Altitude also favors a little bit more of an active style out of the Protoss. We have seen players going for more Zealot-heavy styles, like even Phoenix Zealot, I think, can be extremely strong on this map.
Yeah, we have seen that before, and SKillous is definitely one to whip that out as well. So we'll see if that's what we get as we're going to be loading into game number 2 on Altitude in this best of 2 team league match. And spawning in the top right hand corner of Altitude, we have the Red Protoss representing Team Liquid. It is SKillous.
And the bottom left-hand corner of the map, making his debut today in pretty wonderful style so far. This is PSISTORM's Spirit.
I may have pressed the wrong button initially, but it's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We're going to be getting into game number 2 here. We do have the gate expand set up. SKillous going to be skirting around the edges of the map, making sure nothing is going on.
Yeah, I was actually going to say I feel like Spirit was going to proxy, so looks like SKillous thinks the same.
There we go. He's just making sure that Spirit, after being ahead in this series, doesn't try to cheese him out, doesn't try to clown on him, but we can see the Spirit, his Raxes are back at home. It's all good.
Yeah, Spirit does have a bit of a cheesy streak. He does like going for proxy Reapers into reactor mine drops at home. I think it's a really interesting way to mix up his play. As much as he is considered, you know, that late game expert, he does also have some more multitask based play in his repertoire, especially in this matchup.
Oh yeah, exactly. You know, Spirits, despite the fact that he does appreciate and love going to the late game in a lot of these matchups, in some of those matchups he can be willing to be more aggressive than others, and TVP is definitely one of them.
Mate, it's over. That right there, that is like getting a drone with your first Reaper. He got the CC down with 0 delay, and then he gets the probe as well. Like, this is like, mentally, the game is over right now.
Oh, no. Yeah, not the best start here from SKillous. Hopefully his mental doesn't take too much of a blow. It's possible that the next time we do see him in WTL, they may dock him a couple points.
Oh, true. We don't have the ratings. We can just make them up.
It's true, yeah. Poor mental. Oh, God. As he's not going for a start.
Okay. Yeah, he's going to be going for a Twilight opener. He does have that gateway on the low ground as well, so he can be extra aggressive. And Spirit going to be opening up with 3CC. This is, it's actually kind of become the standard on this map. We very often see Beyond and Maru doing this, going for a 3CC. Maru will sometimes do what Spirit's doing here with the factory. I think Beyond more often is going for a 3 racks off the CC, the 3CC. But yeah, it has become quite a common way to make up for the size of this map.
Yeah, definitely. I always remember to add on to, just like Maru, just like Beyond, Miguelito. Miguelito does this a lot on altitude as well. You don't see it in TVP. Yeah, we'll see how this does unfold as the Marines are looking to chase away the Adepts. They do look to shade on in, but no, the wall is the wall, and SKillous is denied.
Yeah, SKillous just going to be looking to trade, but Spirit getting the best of the micro again. It feels like Spirit just, for whatever reason, is just playing a little bit better today. Just kind of has that small edge, but it is going to come down a little bit to the strategy here. The other thing that does make this map a little bit more appealing for a 3CC play like this, as well as its size, is the main's quite awkward to blink into. It's not a good 4K blink map.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, that's also why we're not seeing it. It was a blink opener, but only a 2-gate blink opener. From here, SKillous likewise is going into a faster third Nexus as well. He has blink just to be a little bit assertive on the map, but there wouldn't really be any aggression from him either. So Spirit is kind of free to be greedy like this, as you were saying.
Yeah, exactly. Very standard play coming out from SKillous. He's even going to be skimping a little bit on the Stalkers. Often you would see going up to around 5 Stalkers here, but he's going to be going a little bit lighter on those, just recognizing the way that Spirit's playing.
Yeah, exactly. With that, he can kind of conserve and be more efficient with his resources as the third gets up and running. We're getting to our Forge as well for said upgrades. Likewise, Spirit getting into his 3-1-1 setup as well, as we kind of expect. So a pretty chill start here on altitude.
Yeah, exactly. So Spirit once again showing that he's very willing to go into a bit of a later game setup against the Protoss here. Meanwhile, yeah, SKillous just, doing all the standard things, going into a bit of an earlier charge, should be going up into 8 gates and +1 as well. So this is about as standard gets, and it makes a lot of sense. This is kind of what Spirit does. He just lets the Protoss, do what they want in some ways. But he's going to be going into an early 5 racks before the starport. This is something that has been a little bit more popular lately as well. Just kind of understanding that because your stim's so delayed, you don't really have a timing here anyway. So just skipping into that infrastructure.
Yeah, definitely, as hopefully everything is okay. I'm just checking my frames are looking good, but are you getting any kind of lag in game?
No.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's not good.
At least you're not lagging the players.
Yeah, true, as I'm keeping my eye on the ping here as it does get a little bit higher. We do have the the Stalker's gonna be threading the natural for the time being. They are gonna be fended off for now, and yeah, as you were saying, Spirit is gonna be delaying did delay his starport by quite a bit.
Yeah, meanwhile, SKillous with just 5 Stalkers picks off a Cyclone, picks off 2 depots as well, so doing a lot with a little.
Yeah, definitely behind this, SKillous is getting his 4th base up and running, and thankfully my ping is going back down to a much more standard 300 ping. You love to see it.
Nice.
Which is normal here in the EU. I was concerned. Just had a bit of a spike, but the spike has subsided, and SKillous is now getting into his double rover production, into his Colossi, into his rover play, whether it be Colossi or Disruptors. So yeah, things are just slowly kind of unveiling themselves. Revealing themselves?
Yeah, SKillous is doing a really good job this game of reading what's going on. If you have a look at the units tab, he actually does not have many units at all. He hasn't made any units out of his robo either. His first Immortal coming out just now, so he's doing a great job of recognizing how Spirit's playing and adapting to that.
Yeah, exactly. Just cutting as many corners as possible, recognizing that, hey, I can skip out on some warpins. I don't need to spend my resources right now on units, just because of how passive and defensive Spirit is being. But now that 5 racks is kicking in, Spirit is going to be vying for that map control as we speak. Just for map control for the time being as he goes for the scan and does get eyes on the 4th.
I could have sworn a Zealot went into the bunker there. Can you imagine what damage a Zealot would do in a bunker if he got trapped in there with Marines?
I've seen it in the cardboard animations, Bobby. It's happened. It's
terrifying.
Oh, really?
Nice. That's a real raw.
There's no way out, Bobby. There's no way out. It's a bloodbath. As we do have a Prism going into the main base as well. So far, no massive weapon, but there we go. 3 Zealots are on the way in. We do force a reaction out of Spirit. He's not going to be losing too much, though, as he was able to have some reinforcements in position in time.
Yeah, okay, so not a big commitment from SKillous, just sort of keeping an eye on what's going on here.
Yeah, exactly. And from here, SKillous, he just takes a 5th base. Disruptor production is now well underway. Interesting choice here. He actually completely skipped Colossi, just pure Disruptor as his splash damage of choice.
Yeah, I see this a lot on this map. I don't think I know enough to explain why. My guess would just be that because the middle of the map is so big and so open, it's probably going to be pretty easy to get your Colossus caught out.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. I mean, we'll see if this pays off for him as well. The Disruptors are they're gonna get sniped.
Wow, yeah, the killer instinct from Spirit is diving straight on top of this base. SKillous is completely out of position. This is a great Zealot run by as a response, but this base is going to be going down. A lot of the probes going to be going down as well.
Wow, the base, 2 Disruptors, Zealots across the map are doing a lot of damage across the map. To be fair, we have a couple of reinforcements, but oh my god, the mineral line is going to be going down.
Yeah, these Zealots are putting in work, and SKillous doesn't have that much at home to defend, but the threat of the Disruptors is pretty scary. I think Spirit is going to have to commit to this.
I think so as well, because these Zealots, they don't just eviscerate the natural mineral line, they get into the 3rd base as well. Spirit still idle with his army, but no, here we go. He's now looking to push in. There are 4 Disruptors waiting for him.
Is he watching?
He's not looking! No!
Oh, SKillous was not looking, and there we go. We do have some nice Disruptors coming out. They're going to get a good connection, but just look how little there is here for SKillous.
Yeah, exactly. He was looking, but a little bit too little too late, and now Spirit, he can dive on into the natural base. The production is under threat. The robo gets depowered.
Yeah, I feel like SKillous just cut a few too many corners here. Maybe missed the move out that he was looking for when he wanted to get that big warp in, or maybe he just caught the move out when he already committed his run by warp in, but he just really did get caught out of position pretty badly here. Despite that, I think this is going to be okay with for him for how much damage he's done.
I think so as well. As when we take stock, Spirit is still on an abysmal worker count. SKillous, because he had expended so much, like his worker count is still looking pretty fine.
Yeah, Spirit, he completely lost control of his 3rd here. In fact, where is the 3rd? Did he lose it?
It's gone, Papi. It's
oh boy.
Yeah, the 3rd CC did go down in the midst of all that, so no triple SB production, no mules either. Spirit is completely all in.
Yeah, he is all in against a 4-base Protoss that has Disruptors. He has to make something happen. He has to make it happen now, but SKillous, he's happy to take this fight.
Yeah, he is happy to take the fight. We are going for another warp in behind this. The Purification Novas are on cooldown, but there we go. Another one does come out, and this does force the pick up.
Okay, Spirit going to be picking up, reinforcing back over here, but the Zealot warping, the single cheeky Zealot there. Maybe a few of them picking up 7 SEVs, and SKillous so actively pushing this back now.
Yeah, exactly. A little bit ambitious to chase this away, but he has enough on the ground. He does force another pickup. He does force Spirit to back off, and SKillous will hold on to his 4th base.
Yeah, and I mean, that's almost GG right there. This is a really scary situation for Spirit. He does have 2 Liberators, so this might be where he tries to make something happen. 2 Ghosts, 2 Liberators. That does increase the quality of his army pretty significantly.
Yeah, we do have an EMP on those Stalkers. Liberators are going down one after another, though they will be cleaned up, and there's just still so much Protoss on the ground.
A pretty nice CranKy from Spirit. We do have the Zealot run by back at home, and there's not going to be enough to clean that up, so Spirit has to get a lot done here, and it's just not enough. GG is called. SKillous fighting back.
GG, well played. SKillous does fight back. He does tie it up 1-1 against Spirit. And to be fair, we were kind of saying coming into this that they're both a very evenly matched players, so it makes sense for it to be a 1-1.
Yeah.
But a very interesting games all around here. You know, I feel like, some SKillous was maybe lacking a little bit of map awareness or just reaction time here in game 2. Was almost punished for it, but at the same time, so was Spirit as well, you know, with losing his third base.
Yeah, that game was super interesting. I feel like I didn't fully understand the complexity of what was going on there. That was just a, very EU game.
yeah, exactly.
The greed versus the greed.
Yeah, both players kind of just building up towards the end game, and then suddenly everything was on fire for both players. Oh, God.
Yeah.
But, yeah, SKillous did come out a little bit better. Spirit's a little bit worse for wear, and now we're going to be getting to our second best of 2.
Yeah, okay. So we are going to be jumping into that second best of 2 here. And it is going to be Elazer versus Namshar.
Yeah, and this is going to be an interesting one because is this the first time Namshar is playing in WTL this season?
Yeah, as far as I know.
Yeah, he hasn't been fielded too often here. I am a little bit concerned. Namshar is one of the weaker players on PSISTORM. PSISTORM, they have a pretty large roster. You know, they got players like Special, they got players like Geralt as well. But it seems like they are unavailable today, and Namshar is stepping in instead. And Namshar, he has a lot of history behind him. You know, he's been competing for a very long time, but in current StarCraft, he isn't quite as in form as he used to be. You know, he's more in the middle of the pack in his respective region, as he is currently residing in Canada and is playing for the NA region for a long time as a result.
Yeah, I don't believe Namshar has been playing all that much, which, makes this pretty interesting. In fact, I think the last time I saw Namshar, he was playing some Protoss on the NA ladder. But he is, as a lot of NA players are, not the most active these days, which, you know, fair enough. There's less opportunities these days. But I am glad to see him playing in the World Team League. We have seen a lot of different players getting some opportunities. We saw CranK last week. It was a bit spicy in the end, CranK's involvement in the World Team League, but we saw CranK, and we've seen Roddy in the qualifiers, and might be seeing him in the coming weeks as well.
True. We're going to be seeing Roddy in a couple of days, actually, which is shocking. So, you're right. You know, it's great to see Namshar. He's going to be getting involved here, and he usually isn't. But as you're saying, he's not full-time. But to be fair, the last time, I'm getting some PTSD, I'm getting some flashbacks. I'm getting reminded of Raynor versus Lenok. Where sure, like, Namshar may not be the most active of players, but he's definitely a player that you have to respect. And if Elazer is maybe a little bit too careless, if he's a little bit too overconfident overall because of the skill gap, he could be punished for it. Definitely could be.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a matchup where you're going to see that, see if he sees that matchup.
It can be. It can be. I don't really know. I don't really see Elazer being too overconfident. I don't really think he has a cocky personality, but you know, we'll see. We'll see how this does unfold. Maybe I don't watch enough. All I know about Elazer is that he loses overlords. Okay. Speak to me, Papi. Speak to me.
Yeah, I feel like he's pretty confident. I feel like a lot of these top EU Zergs have a bit of a I don't want to say arrogant, because it is well founded. They're really good. Yeah. But I feel like they do look down on lower league players quite a bit sometimes.
Just a little bit of elitism, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's the word for it I'm looking for.
But we'll see how this all does unfold in the end, as we are getting into this ZVZ best of 2. It's a best of 2, of course, so anything can happen. I do think that it's going to be on Namshar to come out swinging, though, and upsets have occurred before. In most recent times, 2 weeks ago now, we actually casted Young Yakov versus Dark And Young Yakov, with some very prepared builds, did take down Dark 2-0. I'm sorry, 2-1 even, in OSC in the midseason playoffs. So again, you know, these things can happen if you come in prepared.
Yeah, Young Yakov's got a tendency to do that. I think he took games off Cyril recently as well. But yeah, we'll have to see if Namshar has that same streak in him as. Here we go, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of the map. It is the Polish Zerg. His opponent playing for Team Liquid. This is Elazer.
Oh boy. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, going for a 13-12. Let's go, Bob. We're going full NA. He may be from Sweden, but he is living in the land of Canada. He has been influenced by the NA ladder. The Blue Zerg representing PSISTORM Gaming, it is Namshar. Let's go.
Okay, so you say full NA, but I'm going to go in a little bit to at least my perception of the EU ladder. I actually think EU ladder is cheesier, but they have like a very certain list of cheeses that they do. They have the cheeses that are like the acceptable cheeses. And I would say that those cheeses get used like an insane amount, especially on EU ladder. But you have to do like one of the approved cheeses. And the reason I'm bringing this up, I really worry about Namshar doing a 13-12 against Elazer, because 13-12 is an approved cheese on the EU ladder.
It's got the certificate of approval. You know, this is done from time to time by the European Zergs, and I have to agree, but yeah, we'll see how this does turn out here for Namshar. I recently experienced that firsthand as well. I was casting Eba versus Mondo, and Eba was clowning on Mondo, but at the same time, like, Mondo took a game as well, and after that game, Eba was like, look at this, like, weird roach timing from Mondo, man. He was flipping out.
Yeah, I feel like it's really funny. The different servers are so different, where Korea just do whatever the hell they want, but they do it really well. NA do whatever the hell they want, and they sometimes do it well, sometimes do it really badly, and it rarely... I feel like the NA builds make a bit more sense overall, but they don't like get played as well. And then Europe has like designated macro and designated cheese.
Yeah, and we'll see how Elazer can defend here, because he decides to pull the boys, which is a bold move, by the way. It looks like Elazer wants to hold on to his natural. The Banelings are rolling on in as well. This is kind of best case scenario for Namshar.
Yeah, wow, those Banelings got good connections there on those Lings, and now the Queen's going to be sectioned off by the Banelings as well. We have two more Banelings coming in, so this is going really well for Namshar. I feel like Elazer definitely underestimated this play, and Namshar did a really good job of making it look like a 12-full GG. No way.
He gets called. Namshar does take game one. I was about to say the exact same thing. I didn't want to, like, go against what Elazer was doing, because I was like, he knows what he's doing, but he was going for the 12-pull response.
He thinks it's the 12-pull, right?
Yeah. He was going for the 12-pull response. You don't pull the boys against 13-12. You don't get a spine crawl in the low ground. You give up the natural against a 13-12. At least that's what I've been taught. And I saw Elazer, and I was like, does he know something I don't? And apparently, mate, Namshar, he hit it quite well, and just like that, damn.
Why did we not have player cams this week? I'm so sad. This would have been the perfect night to have player cams. Can you imagine?
Yeah. It would have been perfect, Papi. It would have been perfect. GG. Namshar does take the first game, and now it's going to be Elazer's map of choice. As we were mentioning, it looks as if Elazer was caught completely off guard as to what the build was, assumed that it was a 12 pool, and even upon pulling the boys and seeing the Banelings being morphed in his face, he still had no fear. He was still just committed to his defense as well, which is what shocked me as well. I was like, oh my god, he's crazy. Yeah, he's crazy.
I think we would have seen a desk smash.
Yeah, 100%. We would have.
You can imagine it.
Yeah. I can see it in my mind. I can see it. Juicy. Now, Elazer, his map of choice is going to be Babylon.
Okay. Elazer pool first, Namshar, hatch first. 100%.
That would be
100%.
so... I would love that. I would absolutely love that right now. You know what? Namshar, he goes for like a gasless opener. We'll see, Poppy. We'll see as we're going to be loading on in. And yeah, is anyone going to be scared? Is anyone going to take advantage of the situation, of how this series has played out? Let's find out.
Yeah, that's right. As here we go. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner. Rather unexpectedly down 1-0. It is Team Liquid's Elazer.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Swedish Zerg player representing PSISTORM Gaming, living in the land of Canada. It is Namshar. Putting a point on the board, leading this series for his team. And my question is, did anyone predict Namshar taking a game?
I was about to ask that. I was literally about to ask that. Did anyone predict that? No shot, surely. As we do see both players going for the hatch first here.
Yeah, there we go. Hatch first from both players. Makes sense from Namshar. No fear out of Elazer. I'm checking Yaku. Yaku's usually crazy with this. No, he went for Elazer as well. I just scrolling through. No one predicted Namshar to take a game. Crazy.
Yeah, and I'd predict it again, to be honest, but there we go. So Namshar just kind of catching Elazer off guard, and now we're going to see how things go down in a bit more of a standard looking game.
Yeah, exactly. You know, now Elazer, he can play some StarCraft, but can he play StarCraft when his hand hurts as much as it does? Because I'm sure he hit that desk really hard.
It's broken.
Oh no. He's playing with his foot right
it's
now.
The advanced Team GP maneuver. You break his hand in the first game.
Oh my god. Namshar, he's whipping out all the straps. He's whipping out the straps, Papi. He's getting ready to go full dark. He's gonna tie him up.
Boy.
Oh.
Okay.
I wanted to say strats, but my mind was elsewhere.
That's fine. Yeah, clearly.
Yeah. I was thinking about Diablo.
Yeah, I was going to say Namshar celebrating the release of Diablo by violently breaking the hand of his opponent.
Exactly. As after a very intense game one, here in game number two, everything is chilling out. Everything is a little bit more mellow, nothing too crazy. Everyone's droning. We're going to be scouting each other with some spotter lings, and we're going for our third bases on time as well. As actually, Elazer delayed his ling production. Is just going to be now moving out with him. So Elazer a little bit greedier.
Yeah, and it looks like he will be getting away with that as well. So I think. I believe the way that it's normally done, right, in ZVZ is you want to be 2 lings behind your opponent if you're the defender.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And well, the other big thing that just happened is that Elazer he's not ling scouting. Like usually you have like 2 lings to send across the map to figure out whether there's a fast lair or fast gases or kind of any fast tech of any sort. But yeah, Elazer is going to be playing in the dark.
I told you, cocky.
Yeah. And as a result, Namshar delays his own Baneling Nest and he's going for a Ling Flood. He's amassing lings across the map.
Okay, and Elazer does have 1 Baneling on the way. He's got a couple safety Banelings morphing in. But of course, there is a potential for micro coming out from Namshar. It is going to all come down to the control, especially if you can start getting some damage going on this base nice and early. That just makes this whole situation a bit more volatile.
Oh, exactly. As we do see Elazer a little bit out of position. The Lings do flood into the main base, but no, there's plenty to keep up here. Namshar, he's not going to be able to get too much damage at the same time. Banelings are protecting that third base, so Elazer has been able to defend quite well.
Yeah, interesting choice from Namshar. I feel like generally you're not going to want to force multitask situations against the potentially stronger player here, so it's good that he's backing himself like that, but in the end doesn't get too much done with it and bleeds out a lot of lings.
Yeah, so he's in a bit of trouble right now. Namshar droned up heavily behind this, by the way, so Namshar was heavily just droning up and actually exceeded the worker count of Elazer, and he forced an overreaction of lings from Elazer. But now, like, the turns do table, you know, Elazer can now be the aggressor. He's looking for some damage. He's looking to make these lings pay for themselves.
Yeah, but Elazer actually gonna back off for the moment. I think he missed a window though, didn't he?
I think so as well. He could have tried to punish Namshar for cutting corners. Even now, we see Namshar, his army supply is, quite superseded by Elazer as we speak. But both players are going to back off, and yeah, we're just going to be looking to saturate our thirds.
The double Roach Warren for Namshar.
Oh, let's go.
Beat and Burrow.
I think he. Oh my god.
He just didn't realize, but. It's not impossible. He could go for speed and tunneling claws at the same time.
You're not wrong. I thought he cancelled it. He didn't, Papi. Oh. It's crazy.
Where's the cam? This is what we need the cam for.
Yeah. He's gonna win the game despite having 2 Roach Warrens. He's gonna message Elazer after. Check the replay. We'll see, Papi, as Namshar is going to be going for a massive Roach Link Flood. You can see the disparity in workers already. Namshar is going all in off of this, and Elazer is making a Roach army of his own.
Yeah, he's not even getting lair. Okay, so it's definitely not for the double upgrades. I guess it's a reactor Roach build.
Yeah,
you make them twice as fast.
Exactly, as the Banelings going to be rolling on 4 of the Queens. We'll be able to focus on one of them for the time being. Banelings don't quite find the connections that they're looking for. Elazer is looking to catch some of these reinforcements.
Yeah, but Namshar is going to be catching the catch.
Oh.
He's going to be... Nah, I'm going with that. As, yeah. I'm kind of imagining Elazer now, just like looking at the replay and being like, yes, this must be standard in NA.
Exactly, as we do have some defensive abilities here from Elazer, and the connections are good enough, and Elazer is holding strong.
Yeah, but all in all, not the worst micro coming out from Namshar. I feel like he's getting done with his Banelings what he needs to get done, just trading out, and he was droning pretty heavily behind this, so I don't mind the way that Namshar is playing here at all. It does feel just like the engine that Elazer's got behind this is just a little bit crisper.
Yeah, and I do worry for the delayed lair of Namshar right now. He's still only on hatch tech. He's taking all of his gases as we speak. Elazer is working on the lair of his own, and he is even working on those Evo chambers for upgrades.
Yeah, this is really odd play coming out from Namshar. Like you were saying, it did kind of look like a bit of an all-in situation, but he was kind of just pressuring, and like he was droning well before he moved out with that, so I don't think it was ever intended to kill his opponent. But I mean, both players delaying their upgrades by quite a lot, delaying the lair by quite a lot, and yeah, I'm kind of curious, is this normal at all? Is this the kind of game that can happen a lot of the time, or is this just Elazer reacting to Namshar playing a little bit weird?
I think it's Elazer reacting. I think like he's being like hyper safe with his tech and with where he's spending his resources, because if he had been maybe a little bit greedier, I say greedier, but more standard in going for his Evo chambers and going for his lair timing, I'm sure maybe Namshar would have been able to overwhelm him. So yeah, Elazer is kind of in a way tempering himself just because of Namshar's aggressiveness.
Yeah, makes sense. And he's just baited Namshar into a horrible position. That was so well crafted by Elazer. Gets the fight that he's looking for through the trickery there, and I think he might just be able to end the game here.
Yeah, exactly. A beautiful concave setup from Elazer coming in from behind. Namshar loses the majority of his roaches, of his ravagers, and now things will snowball quickly from here.
Yeah, the slow roach on slow roach fight at almost 9 minutes. Not every day you see this, but Elazer certainly getting the best of it.
Yeah, exactly. Behind this, Elazer just securing his victory. He's going for a Spire as well as the follow-up, just in case the roaches don't finish the job. But again, Elazer has broken the third base. He's breaking into the natural. Biles will be connecting on his army, but there's just not enough on the ground for Namshar.
Yeah, Elazer doesn't care. He will be marching up that ramp. GG is called. And Elazer ties it up 1-1.
Wow, GG. And with that, we're in a position that I didn't think we would be in, but we have a tied up score right now between these two teams. We are neck and neck.
Oh, yeah. And this is really exciting because we have probably saved the best for last here. We have things tied up with Clem versus MaxPax coming up.
Oh boy, Clem versus MaxPax, the series to potentially end it all. Now, if this goes 1-1, we get an ace match. If it goes 2-0 in either way, the series ends in favor of that respective player and their respective team as well. So, yeah, this is a situation that I don't think we thought we would be in. I think everyone was on board with Elazer 2-0ing, and that would put Team Liquid in a commanding position. But suddenly, everything is up in the air.
Yeah, exactly. And for Clem, this is a pretty stressful situation as well, because I'm sure after he saw the 1-1 between Spirit and SKillous, he was just like, okay, Elazer Namshar, it's going to be a 2-0. I just have to win one game and we win. Even if I get 2-0'd, we're going to get that ace match. And suddenly there's a lot more pressure on his shoulders.
Exactly. And if there's anyone that can, any Protoss in Europe that can bring down Clem, it is MaxPax. I'm curious as to what their history is looking like as well. I don't know how often they're able to face off against each other in tournaments.
I feel like they play in the weeklies quite a lot, and I've seen results both ways. I'm going to look it up now, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be roughly 50-50.
Yeah, I would assume so. Like, I would assume that, again, both these players are the top players in their respective regions. What's the history looking like?
Okay, it's pretty heavily Clem favored overall. Hang on, can I filter it to this year? Yes, I can. So before date, let's go 1 year. Let's say June 1st, 2022. Okay, so since then, even better for Clem. Clem's actually 75% with those. With that considered. The last 5 times they played, Clem won 3 of the series. MaxPax won 2 of them. So it looks like Clem sort of has MaxPax's number. I didn't really know that.
Yeah, interesting stuff here. Okay, so they've been facing off quite a bit, and the last time they faced off was in ESL Open Cup EU, where Clem was looking a little bit more dominant. So yeah, we'll see how this turns out. But again, it's a best of 2. I do think that a 1-1 makes plenty of sense. But we'll see if this does go 2-0 in either direction, as game 1 is going to be taking place on Babylon.
Okay. Babylon is a cool place to start it out, because MaxPax, I mean, he's an absolute master of Protoss. He can play all sorts of different styles. I do think this map lends itself quite well to Phoenix Colossus, which is a style that he is extremely good at. I would say that and 4-Gate Blinker is best builds. So I am expecting to see that kind of game coming out from him. And I think for Clem, he has been playing 3 racks a little bit more often lately, which is something that's been... I feel like it comes in and out of the meta just for like a few weeks at a time or a few months at a time. It's definitely not as popular, but we are going through just a small period at the moment where it is popular. And this is a good map for that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if at some point in this series we do get a 3 racks coming out from Clem on Babylon. It would make plenty of sense as well, especially if we do have MaxPax trying to go for a Stargate opener. So we'll see how that dynamic does play out, what openers they go for, and how that does shape up. I'm pretty excited overall. I think a lot of people were just salivating at the idea of Clem versus MaxPax. It's yeah, something that we need to cherish as well, just because we may see it every now and then in the weekly tournaments, but you know, we're not going to be seeing it at DreamHack, so we need to get it when we can.
I did notice we didn't see anyone in the chat asking whether MaxPax is playing today. What's going on?
True. Shaking my head.
Where is he?
Okay, I'll fix that. Hold on.
Is MaxPax playing today? There
we go. Oh god, as we are getting into this, and yeah, players are just kind of getting ready. The stream, I imagine as well, the Chinese stream is getting ready as well. Oh boy. And yeah, thankfully we haven't really had too many issues today. I was a little bit concerned that because these lobbies are so large that maybe some people would be like left out of them or something. We just kind of start off the day with that, but yeah, everything's been pretty smooth stuff.
Yeah, things have been going pretty smoothly, which is I feel like the games take longer to set up than this normally when we're when we have things going on the clean feed.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine that's because of production, right? Like, I imagine it's because of like setting up graphics and, you know, they're playing videos and doing all this stuff. So that does kind of take up a lot of time. But without it, I mean, yeah, we don't need it anymore, you know? we can just go, papi. We can just go.
You reckon they're asking MaxPax to set up the camera?
Oh. Probably. Smooch, papi, smooch. But here we go. We are going to be loading on in. The beeps are upon us. Game 1 of potentially our final best of 2. Or it is our final best of 2 of the night.
Yeah, we are 2-2. It's going to come down to this. If we get a 1-1, we go into that ace match. But can one of these players find the edge here? I do feel like with these two, it does really come down to who is feeling it on the night, especially whether Clem is in form. He can be a little bit shaky from time to time, but he's been in some great form lately.
Really has been, but so has this player here in the bottom right hand corner of Babylon. We have the Danish Protoss player representing PSISTORM Gaming. It is MaxPax.
And spawning here in the top left-hand corner of the map, it is the Frenchman in the red playing for Team Liquid. This is Clem.
Boy, the TVP has arrived. Oh boy, and I'm gonna put you on the spot, Asher. What were your predictions for this?
I think I predicted 1-1. Let me look it up. My predictions have not gone well tonight, that's for sure. I predicted... Yeah, I haven't gotten anything right tonight. I predicted 2-0 for Spirit over SKillous, 2-0 for Elazer over Namshar, and I predicted this to be a 1-1. So if this is a 1-1, it'll be the only series that I got correct.
Well, I also predicted the 1-1 as well. We're both on side here with both players kind of going neck and neck, and that would force an ace match. Yeah, some other people a little bit more decisive though. Frost went for the Clem 2-0, mate. Damn.
Yeah, I was thinking of predicting a 2-0, but I just feel like with this format, when you can pick the second map, especially in TVP with players this strong, I feel like if you pick the second map, you're not that likely to lose. Like, I'm just imagining MaxPax picking like Neo Humanity for the second map or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, it can be really tricky here. I'm just double checking. Emperor Football, he went for the Clem 2-0 as well. No one, even despite some people going for 2-0s, no one went for MaxPax 2-0. No one went that far.
Yeah, interesting. Well, kicking things off, Clem does go for a reactor first. I don't believe MaxPax recognized this. He might not have been near the ramp in time to be safe from Marine first, so he opts not to check. He could have got a little bit more harass on the SCV on the low ground here if he knew that, but Clem has been playing reactor first quite a lot. He actually, before this stream, was coaching Coco and teaching us some reactor first builds. But yeah, we do see it's going to be a proxy Stargate coming out from MaxPax, and I'm really interested to see how these builds are going to match up, especially with, this changes things. A couple Reapers coming out. This is really sneaky from Clem, but it could actually get him in a lot of trouble.
It really could. That is going to eat into his overall anti-air available capabilities against the would-be Oracle of MaxPax. So we'll see how much he has available to him. So far, the Adepts are going to be dancing here with these Marines. Again, any dead Marines will be that much less anti-air that Clem does have to do with the Oracle.
Yeah, pulling the Marines out of position as well. This is kind of a shame that Clem is going up against a proxy Stargate, because this is a really cool build.
Yeah, it really is. Now we're down to one Marine, soon to be none, as well as the Reapers are fighting, going toe-to-toe with these Adepts. Clem now has the map control. He's going to be able to push on through, but behind this, the Oracle is almost out.
Yeah, so three Marines and a Reaper for 2 Adepts is a pretty good trade for the Terran, except for the fact that there's Oracles coming in on a proxy.
Yeah. There's a couple of Marines back at home, to be fair, but the Oracle does dive on in. How many SCVs can we get? 2 SCVs going down for the time being. The Marines do show up, and they will be able to chase away this Oracle. Oh.
Yeah, but some pretty great micro coming out from MaxPax. Takes out 2 of those Marines. He's going to be lowering the Marine count for when that second Oracle does come in. If there is going to be a second Oracle. Okay, no second Oracle. Wow, interesting. I'm surprised to see him go for Blink here on this map in particular. I don't think it's going to be a commitment to 4-gate Blink, but a single Oracle into 3-gate Blink's not really something that I see very often.
Yeah, very interesting.
That's what it is.
Here it is going to be 3-gate Blink. We do have a third base behind this as well, so interesting choice from MaxPax not to commit with this Oracle. I think if he did, he probably would have done so much more damage, so maybe Clem is thankful that there's only a single Oracle coming out. Meanwhile, he's still back at home working on Viking production, making sure he's safe and secure.
Yeah, if Clem puts this all together and SCV pools, I feel like that might be really hard for MaxPax to deal with this build. This is why I don't think we see this kind of play that often for that reason, just because there's no strong backbone to this at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. We kind of are lacking that Stalker production capability. That's oh my god. As we are actually going into a 4th gateway. The 4th gateway is proxied across the map.
This is wild.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, from here, MaxPax is just cleaning up whatever units there are. He's getting map control here outside of the main base of Clem. And he's getting into his 3-1-1. He's actually committing quite heavily here into Marauder production.
Yeah, this is really interesting play coming out from Clem. Nice target fire on the tank. He's going to be taking out that low health Stalker there. And he does enough just to push that back despite losing a few Marines. Gets the scout on the 3rd, sees how many probes are there, so he knows it's not a fully committed attack here.
Yeah, exactly. He knows his opponent is going to be focusing his economy behind this. Meanwhile, at the same time, MaxPax does have high ground vision. He does blink up into the main. He's going for the tank.
Yeah, tank goes down. A little bit of a slow reaction from Clem. Stim will be finishing up in just a moment here. And oh, that's a lot of Stalkers going down for MaxPax. Maybe a bit of an overextension there.
Yeah, exactly. As we did see that tank going down in the end, quickly checking. The battle report taking a while. It was 4 Stalkers going down for 1 tank.
Yeah, Clem respecting this a lot. Doesn't want to take the extra time to make a reactor straight away on the starport. It's just going to be putting out these medevacs one by one. So I do think that he's not necessarily looking to push out super fast here, which is giving MaxPax the time that he needs to get up into that higher gateway count and get away with skipping out on the splash that he has for a while here.
Yeah, exactly. He has been quite vulnerable as a response to that, but we do have that 4 gateways finishing up, as you were saying, getting into a robo soon. I imagine we're going to be getting to splash damage at the same time. Clem is looking to slip in with that medevac drop, with that mine drop into the main. Up!
Oh, and this was not expected at all. 0 reaction from MaxPax. 10 probes going down. That's huge damage from Clem. And I guess Clem knew that this was a little bit of a weakness here, the unexpected mine drop. And this is a really cool build that he's done.
Yeah, exactly. MaxPax is not ready for this whatsoever. The mines are looking to reset. There is a cannon on the way, and hopefully, no, the mines, I think they are going to reset just in time. At the same time, another drop here at the 3rd.
Yeah, we do have quite a few drops going down. The mine does reset, gets 4 more probes for its trouble, even gets on out of there. Bit of classic Clem multitask, as we do see both players just going up into a bit more of a standard setup. Clem is finally going to be pushing out here, and there's still not really any splash from MaxPax.
Yeah, exactly. So just heavily reliant on a pure gateway army. Stalkers and charge shots are all he has available to him, and this move-out has not been scattered, has not been seen by MaxPax at all.
Yeah, this is such an odd playstyle from MaxPax. Yeah, very, very odd. As Clem is going to be pushing on in here. He should be able to get the cancel on this 4th quite comfortably.
Yeah, exactly. We do see MaxPax trying to keep up with the army. He does. Well, he's actually going to be losing a couple of zealots a little bit prematurely. The force fields are thrown down.
Yeah, I mean, Clem just wins this fight. There's no backbone to MaxPax's army.
Yeah, exactly. He just doesn't have enough to overwhelm the army of Clem. Either he goes for a scan, confirms the army will back off. Speaking of backbone, we do now have that bay on the way, so MaxPax over time is going to be getting into those disruptors or colossi.
Yeah, and that robo, that was a super late robo. It's a very greedy measure to take, and it did get punished pretty hard by the Armory Mine Drop. I wonder if Clem did pick up on that or just knows that MaxPax has been playing like that lately. That would make the way that he played that Mine Drop style make a lot more sense, prioritizing getting mines out over getting double medevacs. But here we go, beautiful surround coming out from Clem.
Yeah, exactly. Comes in from behind. At the same time, Zelt's coming from behind as well, but we're losing Stalkers. We're losing Zelts. This is still a better trade for Clem.
Yeah, Clem is pulling so far ahead now. This kind of supply differential, it could be acceptable for a Protoss if they had a good amount of Splash, some Colossus, some Disruptors, even Storm, but with just pure Gateway units, I don't really see a way to come back here.
Yeah, exactly. There is no comeback potential. We do have a Colossi on the way. The first one is in production, but still in production as we're focusing down that Immortal.
Yeah, okay, Immortal goes down, no Prism to save that one. And we still don't have a fourth base for MaxPax. I feel like this style that he's playing is completely reliant on keeping the Terran back at home and having map control while mass expanding. And he just hasn't been able to do that. So even if he takes some good trades here, I don't think it's going to be enough.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see if he can turn things around. We do have the overcharge. We do have MaxPax trying to muster up a defense. The first Colossi does finally come out, but we do have so many Marauders.
Yeah, Clem doesn't care. Beautiful concave here. The constant readjustment of these units is just something that's so wonderful to watch. He's such a fantastic micro player as he does shave off all of the army. MaxPax taps out, and Clem with a convincing game one.
GG, well played. As you're saying, just Clem in full control almost for the entirety of that game. I mean, the initial opener was a little bit scary for Clem. I think we were both a little bit concerned for him, but MaxPax didn't commit. You know, he kind of pivoted away from it, went for a different follow-up instead, going into that 3-gate blink instead. And yeah, it was a very interesting unit composition from MaxPax. Didn't quite work out against what Clem had, especially considering the Mind Drill.
Yeah, that was a really weird game. I would love to have a Protoss player explain to me exactly what the idea is with the 3-gate off the proxy Stargate there, because I can't piece it together in my head. I don't understand how that's meant to work.
Yeah, especially because like your Twilight Council is delayed, your Blink is delayed as well. Like, you don't have as much map presence or map control or as much of an army either. Like, yeah, it's yeah, an interesting choice from MaxPax. We'll see if he can bring it back. You're calling it when it comes to the map of choice. It is MaxPax, his map of choice, Near Humanity.
Yeah, okay. So Near Humanity, the reason I was saying this is a good map for Protoss is just because it's so defensible. It can be quite easy to go into early air, whether that be just a Phoenix Colossus setup, or we've even seen some early carriers sometimes, especially against Zerg, but sometimes against Terran as well.
Oh boy, that's I haven't seen that against Terran. I've seen it against Zerg, but I don't know if I don't know if I want to, you know, have Terran players out there just experience my pain as well. I'm not that kind of person. But we'll see, we'll see.
I think Hearthstone likes to do it, actually.
Yeah, of course he does. He's the
I feel like ever since Hearthstone yeah, ever since his YouTube's been doing so well and he's doing these different side shows like Cheesiest Man Alive and like watching all these low-level plays for Iotis, he's become so much more cheesy in his tournament games.
100%.
And he's become a really fun player to watch.
Yeah, like we've been casting a little bit more of Hearthstone recently, and I don't think I've ever seen him play Standard. Like it's, even against
but it works
Zerg.
Sometimes. Like I remember we casted a PvZ that he played, and he played against Solar, and he went for like a macro cannon rush and like 2-0'd him. I can't remember what he did the first game, but I remember casting that and being like, whoa, that's kind of cool. That's from Home Story Cup, I think. Yeah,
exactly. I think more recently in WTL, he did rush into carriers on Near Humanity against the Zerg player as well, and he got away with it. You know, it worked very well for him. So, oh boy, we'll see if MaxPax has been watching some of Hearthstone's YouTube content. We'll see if he is maybe looking to be the next cheesiest man alive. We'll see.
Yeah, I feel like those builds are very deceptive, where you have a very small window that you can be punished in, and if you clear that window of like 30 seconds to a minute, sometimes you're just completely fine from then on, and they have to play a late game.
Yeah, exactly. It's It's terrifying. But we are loading into this, and hopefully everything is okay. Typically, when a loading screen is this long, it means that someone disconnected, whether it's a player or a caster. And there are a lot of casters in this lobby, so we'll see what happens. If it is a player, of course, we are going to be remaking. Depending on which caster it is, we may also remake as well. If it is one of the Chinese casters, I'm sure we would. So we'll see. We'll see.
Hey, it wasn't you though.
Hopefully. I hope so, Bobby. I hope so.
Yeah, I do think the other thing that's kind of funny about this matchup is Clem's the sort of player, I think Beyond's the only other player that's really like this, where he will kind of try to fit the square peg in the round hole. Is that the term?
Yeah.
He likes to be very aggressive, and his micro is so good that sometimes he can make things happen where you're not really supposed to be able to. So I think doing something like camping on early carriers can be kind of strong against him. Because he will just attack into you.
Yeah, I can see that happen. I can definitely see that happen as we're getting on into this. It looks like, I believe that was the admin timing out. But we may be, we're not going to stop. We're going to keep on going and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Neo Humanity. We have the Danish Protoss player representing PSISTORM Gaming. It is MaxPax.
And in the top left-hand corner of the map for Team Liquid, he has a chance now to save his team from the ace match and win it all right here, right now. This is Clem.
When you were saying that Clem, he puts the square peg in the circular hole, I hear what you're saying. I'm picking up what you're throwing down. What you're telling me is he's the kind of player that makes Ravens against Phoenix openers. Is that what you're saying?
I don't think I've actually seen him do that, to be honest.
I feel like that's just a Beyond thing. That's just a Beyond and Maru thing. Don't worry about
it. Yeah. I mean, I've seen Beyond sometimes doing double Raven against Phoenix openers, which is, that's sick. That's so cool, because if two Ravens get across a map against Phoenix Colossus, that is dead.
Yeah.
They're completely dead. I feel like Clem's a little bit different to Beyond in that he's not looking to end the game with his first push. He's just looking to get ahead and to like when he does his crazy micro, it's more about getting ahead and out macroing his opponent than necessarily just killing them straight up. I think that's the difference.
Okay, fair enough. It's the difference is the intent behind the animalistic nature. I see.
Yeah, Clem is more like a pickaxe, just like chipping away, but like doing damage with every swing, whereas Beyond's just like a sledgehammer.
Beyond, he's just a chainsaw. He just keeps on going, Papi, and he doesn't stop. It's crazy. I think I would agree with that kind of analysis of the players and what kind of garden tools they are. As we're kind of getting into this game, Clem going for a Rax expand here, so going for something a little bit more economic. Zealot is going to be going across the map though, going to be looking to wreak some havoc.
Oh, bit of a slow reaction from Clem, so he is going to be taking some damage on these SUVs. One of those going down already. The Marine probably going to be going down as well.
We'll see.
The micro challenge.
Yeah, the second Marine does come out. The Zealot is caught from both ends. Is going to try and go for the building SCV, but again, micro is too good. Up.
Clem's so sick. Okay, there we go. We have a Marine and an SCV going down for one Zealot. Not ideal. Pretty bad situation for the Terran there, really, but he does get his CC done and he gets his bunker done, so this is not going to snowball at least.
Yeah, at least it does finish up in time. The Adept gets here a little bit too late. Second Adept rolls in as well to look to get another SCV, and it looks like he will get one.
Yeah, SCV does go down, so we're seeing, I would say at this point, a pretty even trade, maybe slightly in Clem's favor.
Yeah, that was two Adepts, and they didn't really get too much. Two Adepts, they got one additional SCV, I want to say, and one additional Marine, so a bit of a better trade from Clem, as behind this he's going to be going into his drop play. We have Widow Mines coming out as we speak. Meanwhile, MaxPax is going for that Twilight Council opener.
Ooh. The probe moved out of position there. He was in position to throw down that pylon and get the block there and deny Clem the scout, but he just moved the probe out of position for just a moment there, so he's not going to be stopping this scout from getting through, and that's really big. I think Clem might have thought that it was going to be a Stargate opener from the way that he was positioning his mines, and to get that scout is huge.
Yeah, exactly. He gets into the main base, he gets confirmation that it is a Twilight Council, sees it researching as well, is fully aware of the blink, and they should be preparing it back at home. Meanwhile, the first medevac drop is going across the map. Just a singular mine. Let's try and get some additional scouting information. It does get spotted by the Xel'Naga.
Yeah, okay. So Clem definitely thought it was going to be Stargate. Usually if you just go for the one mine, you're kind of hard countering Oracle into Phoenix opener, so... yeah, you can see that this scout is pretty big, but the mine doesn't get any damage.
Yeah, mine does unburrow, and it does get picked off just in time, so MaxPax so on top of that, shuts it down immediately. Ooh, and now he's already working on his Prism, is looking to be aggressive with his 4-gate Blink Stalker opener.
Oh, this is 4-gate. Oh, that's wild. This is not a 4-gate map. The mind games.
I mean, Clem is still getting ready for it. He's got his bunker up and running. He's got a tank beautifully wedged behind his production as well. The SimCity is insane.
Yeah, I love this SimCity. Even delays his stim just to make sure that he can get all of these defenses up. So this is such a strong reaction coming out from Clem. Double bunker down to the south, and yeah, as you were saying, that tank tucked away so nicely.
Yeah, but the mineral line is a little bit under threat, so a couple of SCVs are going to be going down. Only a couple, though, as we do see the Raven taking a couple of hits as well.
Yeah, it's a bit of a delicate dance here where the Raven is threatening a Matrix, but it doesn't want to use a Matrix. It just wants to, make those Stalkers a little bit scared to fully commit.
Yeah, exactly.
The tank's exposed.
Tank is looking a little bit exposed. MaxPax goes for another big warp and is looking for a way in. His observer does spot the tank.
Yeah, and there we go. The tank is going to be going down. Wow, amazing pickup micro from MaxPax. That was so nice. He is going to have to get out of here, but doesn't lose any Stalkers here.
Yeah, exactly. Good trades overall from MaxPax. He goes for another warping behind this. He's, of course, getting his third base up and running. Charges on the way behind this as well, alongside that Forge. And MaxPax is looking for another way in.
Yeah, he is. The Viking was waiting for the Prism, but it's not going to be able to get any hull damage there. These two bunkers are nice, but they don't prevent anything like this. God, MaxPax is just so good at this build.
Yeah, exactly. He gets 4 more SCVs. He's gonna be... No, he doesn't quite lose any additional Stalkers. Marines and Marauders are trying to deal with this, but they just can't. Ooh.
Okay, one Stalker goes down, but MaxPax absolutely flexing his mastery of this build, finding some unorthodox ways to make it work with this multi-prong attack, and he is just extracting every little bit of damage that he possibly can out of these Stalkers.
Yeah, he really is. The Stalkers are looking for another opening. The tank is once again exposed. The bunkers were empty, and he even gets the medevac.
Yeah, medevac goes down, tank goes down. Raven going to be going down as well. Almost, it's one shot away from going down. But MaxPax, he is starting to snowball this, and behind this, he's got his third up, fully mining. So Clem is in a lot of trouble in this game.
He really is. Looking at the units lost tab, Clem has lost a Viking, a medevac, 2 tanks, and 14 SCVs in total. He has been taking far too much damage. And what does he do from here? He throws down a third CC. He will not... Well, he's not really thinking about pulling the boys to try to counteract this.
Yeah, third CC on the way behind this MaxPax. It's macroing up so nicely. He's got his 4th Nexus on the way. He's got his 8 gates. He's got his charge +1 as well as the Robo Bay on the way. MaxPax is just... His skill, his mastery of this build is just so impressive. I do really think that he is the best in the world when it comes to playing 4-gate Blink.
Yeah, he's just completely shutting down Clem at every turn, just getting ahead as well. Clem is going to be going for a double mine drop here towards the edge of the map. It looks like this Xel'Naga is in control of MaxPax, but Clem should be avoiding it for the time being.
Yeah, and there you go, MaxPax. Just look at those Stalkers. Like, you can tell that someone is incredible at Stalker Micro when you see such colorful Stalkers.
They're all in the orange, yellow, and red. A couple Stalkers are going to be going down, but as Clem moves out, the Prism moves on in. Thankfully, there are reinforcements back at home. The Prism is going to get shut down.
Yeah, Prism goes down. Great foresight by Clem to get that early turret.
Yeah, turret does help out quite a bit. At the same time, with boost on in, Clem is going for the mine drop into the natural, and this time does MaxPax notice? Oh. Up!
Oh, he does pull at the last minute, but oh my god, Clem. Such a tryhard.
He goes to the unborrow, but alas, he doesn't get the mine shot off. He is going to get cleaned up. At the same time, Clem is moving out with his entire army. He was able to keep that Raven alive, and he has a lot of energy on it.
Yeah, good that you point that out. That Raven's going to be pretty big here, but this is a bit of an off timing. I mean, MaxPax, he has so many units. He's so far ahead in this game. I do think just Clem, he can make magic happen with these bio units, and he's going to be looking to put on as much pressure as he can.
Yeah, there we go. There's a disable on the Colossi. Overcharge is being popped to try to keep this alive as well. MaxPax being very careful with how he engages. He doesn't want to trigger those mines.
Yeah, amazing micro coming out from MaxPax. Is just dancing back and forth. Second Colossus is going to come in, and that's going to push this back. I think with how heavily these units are stimmed, Clem can't stay here, and yeah, he is going to be backing off now.
Yeah, the mines get cleaned up, the army backs off. Despite the disables, Clem wasn't able to engage, and MaxPax loses Zealots, and that's it.
Yeah, this game's looking surprisingly even in the supply, but I do think that MaxPax with going up into 4 Colossus here, he's going to have a much more sturdy army. It's going to be important for Clem to have good map presence so that this Colossus army can't get on top of him, because these bases can actually be very hard to defend once siege units are on top of you.
Yeah, and we'll see if MaxPax does hit that timing, as he now has his 3rd Colossi, and now he's going to be joined up by the 4th. Clem rotates over on the left-hand side, does get spotted by the Zolnaga of MaxPax. He does catch wind of this, is going to be looking to shut this down.
Yeah, we have a bit of a run by going into the natural at the same time. Looks like Clem's got enough back at home to deal with this, and he is establishing a little bit of map presence, but he has to give that up just because of how big the army is.
Meanwhile, at the same time, 19 workers go down. There was a mine drop here at the 4th base.
19 for 2 mines is insane. That is a huge drop. I wonder if we were slightly oversaturated at that base.
Yeah, I imagine so, as we weren't quite saturating the center base, so MaxPax, that economic lead that he once had, is now gone.
Yeah, okay, I think he's going to have to make something happen with his timing. Luckily for him, if this doesn't get spotted, I think this is going to be extremely hard for Clem to deal with. We have 4 Colossus and 3 Disruptors, and if that can get into one of these narrow areas, I just have no idea how you engage it. But Clem setting up a massive surround here.
Yeah, exactly. The concave, the surround is real from Clem. We do see MaxPax trying to force his way in towards the natural base. He has to be very careful as as the mine shots do go off on the Zealots.
Yeah, good micro. He's going to use those Stalkers to zone out the Raven here, but Clem keeps that alive. Clem playing very quickly now, is going to be going for a little bit of a surround here. Disable goes down on one of those Disruptors, but I don't think you can chase this too far.
Oh my god, I mean, a Colossi does go down. The miss rally as well from MaxPax. He throws away another Disruptor.
Yeah, wow, 2 Colossus go down, 2 Disruptors as well, so that was a really nice trade from Clem, and it feels like Clem now taking control of this game in a situation where he was really in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, so much did just go down for MaxPax. He lost 2 Disruptors and 2 Colossi. On top of that, again, he's still struggling to rebuild and remax his economy, and yeah, Clem is looking pretty damn good after that.
Yeah, I think we're looking at an even game now. Despite the Protoss being up on 5 bases, the Terran on 3 with a 4th on the way. Clem has all the tools that he needs to take this map control and take some good trades, and I do expect him to be getting aggressive pretty soon.
Yeah, I expect so as well. We do have now Ghosts being incorporated, 3 of them being produced at a time. We're now getting into a 2nd Robo as well. Sorry, a 3rd Robo. My mistake, to get into more of those Disruptors. But before that happens, Clem is looking for a fight.
Yeah, he is. Pretty massive Zealot run by going to be sent in by MaxPax at the same time on the left-hand side. I don't think Clem has anything in position to deal with this. It looks like he is going to be backing off, splitting his army, so he should be okay here as long as that does get back in time.
Yeah, exactly. He is forced to turn back around. A lot of SCVs are going down. MaxPax looking to reciprocate the damage that was dealt to him earlier. At the same time, the main armies are still dancing amongst each other. Nova goes up! Oh!
Is he looking? Oh.
You're not looking, Papi.
Yeah, Clem just a fraction late there. Does take pretty big Nova there, and we do see that supply dip, but he still has these 2 threatening armies here, which should be able to continue to have map control and stop Clem from, stop MaxPax from sieging up on him.
Yeah, exactly. He still has a pretty threatening Viking army with all those ghosts, with the mines as well. He does spot the army pushing through all these rocks at the same time. Another mine drop here into the natural base. Not too many kills. 6 workers going down, but it is enough to distract MaxPax.
Ooh, actually pretty good Nova connection though.
Yeah, mines go down. A couple of ghosts go down as well. We still have so many disruptors behind this.
Yeah, how many disruptors? What the hell? Okay, we've got 8 disruptors there for MaxPax. That is terrifying.
It really is. More Novas do go off. The Vikings push forward, but they're going to be able to take down another one of those Colossi. Up.
Yeah, actually not that many Stalkers on the ground, so both Colossus going to be going down. That should be just about the end for the Vikings. A player like Clem here is so resourceful with his aggression, they might just go across the map and go for a bit of harass.
Yeah, they really could. Meanwhile, they are forced back home instead as we have a massive Zealot run by. Not going to be doing too much economic damage, but never mind.
Ooh.
The boys are being pulled at the same time. The main armies.
Yeah, this is such a stressful situation. The Terran having to be looking in both places at once here while those disruptor balls are coming in.
Yeah, the Novas are going off one after another. So far, Clem has been able to avoid them, but they just don't stop.
Yeah, this is TVP.
The Novas actually just don't stop. We can see MaxPax just wedging his way in between the bases, pushing in towards the natural. The Novas, oh my god, they just keep on going.
Yeah. Yeah, what can you do?
What can you do? I mean, but like, none of them have been connecting. To be fair, Clem is getting into Liberators as we speak. He doesn't have them yet, though. He needs them desperately.
Oh, I can't cast it. It's pure pain.
Oh, no. Stay with me, Papi. Stay with me.
I
It's
hate
okay,
to say
it's okay, Papi. It's okay. Liberators, they're going to change everything. They're finally here. They're coming up, Papi. They're coming. Oh, no.
As he does wedge himself in here, and it's going to be very hard to do anything about this as Clem. Looks like MaxPax is just going to be backing off, doesn't want to fully commit to this if he doesn't have to.
Oh, and there we go. Liberators do rock up, but at the same time, Novas once again zoning the armies away. Liberator will be focused down by those Stalkers. Colossi are coming back into the mix.
Yeah, we do just have the army continuing to be zoned out. I think we did have a fraction of a second there where there wasn't an available wall, but we dropped back to the shield battery overcharge, so nothing going to be happening there.
I could hear the Terran within you for a moment there. I could hear him.
That's so gross.
In the silence, I could hear him screaming.
It's just like, oh, like disruptors are okay if you're just Clem and you can dodge every disruptor,
True.
but it's like, oh, even Clem can't do anything.
But here we go. We have that big engagement. We do have Novas going off to shave off some of those Marauders. Clem was trying, I believe, to go for a bit of a counterattack, but oh no, the DTs, they've arrived. They've arrived.
Yeah, DTs are on the field. We have Blink as well, so this is where MaxPax can start to take over. And just having a look over there at the left at the base, there are 2 mines there. So with the scan, he should be able to, with a quick repair, keep that PF safe.
Oh, yeah, we'll see if he's going to be able to respond in time as the DTs are racing across the map. They're headed towards that base as we speak. We have more DTs towards the right-hand side. They're going to be cleaned up, not without getting a couple of SCV kills. Liberator showing up as well, forcing a reaction out of MaxPax.
Yeah, Clem, despite being in constant motion, has found the time to go up into 5 bases. And there we go, the reaction just a little bit too slow there. He's going to be losing that base, losing 16 workers as well.
Oh, God. 16 workers going down alongside the planetary. The DTs are going to be able to get the hell out of there as well. At least some of them will. Now the main armies are going to clash once again as MaxPax wants to force his way in. He's even taking one of these Fort Nexi in the face of Clem.
Yeah, pretty incredible stuff. Both these players keeping up economically, despite both their armies being in constant motion and also both being harassing. Like, this is top tier TVP.
Oh, it really is. And we do see Clem just trying to dance here, but he's forced to stim. He's forced to just take swipes to the face at every turn. He can't go in. The balls, there are too many coming at him, Puppy.
Yeah, literally just non-stop from both players. And finally, we do have enough Liberators to secure the position.
As they come in, GG gets called, and MaxPax will take the game here, tying it up 1-1. We have an ace match. Oh, wait, no. Sorry.
I'm so stressed out. It is an ace match, right?
Yeah. Is that ace match in the end? Oh, my God. We're going all the way to Game 7. The final game, Bobby. The final game.
Oh boy. What a map. What a game. But
oh boy, I wonder who they're gonna send out against Clem.
I mean, yeah, props to MaxPax. That execution of the 4-gate in the early game was incredible. That was so impressive. Being able to find that much damage on a map that's really not great for that strategy. He found every tiny little bit of damage that he possibly could have.
Yeah, he really did. He really did. He kind of got himself in a really good position after that. We saw Clem fight back, though, if you recall, with those 20 probe kills, with those Widow Mines. So as a result, things were actually getting quite close and pretty intense between the two of them. But in the end, MaxPax was able to get to that critical mass of disruptors that we all know and love. And I'm sure you know this terminology, but it did feel like Clem was stun locked for a while there. And it was brutal to watch, where just... He just had to literally dance to the music of MaxPax, and then he couldn't quite do much else from there. He just couldn't engage, couldn't close the gap, close the distance. MaxPax is looking terrifying there, terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, both players just everywhere, constantly, just dancing all over the map while mass expanding. This is pretty much as good as it gets. I mean, we are, of course, towards the end of the lifespan of StarCraft 2, and it kind of feels like we are getting pretty close to, I guess you can't really say perfect play because it could always be better, but we're kind of pushing the limits now.
Yeah, we really are. We really are. It's just the players are getting better and better, and how much better can they get? Well, we're going to find out for the remainder of this year and maybe even the next. Depending on what happens with Stormgate, of course. But before that happens, we have the ace match. And we have to figure out who we send out, because even though there are maybe some obvious picks here and there, we were caught off guard in the last series when DKZ came out with Elazer of all players. Is there a world where you send out, I don't know, someone else instead of Clem to take down MaxPax, or someone else other than MaxPax to take out Clem? Like, I'm talking about Spirit or even SKillous.
Yeah, I guess it's not impossible that we could see Elazer versus MaxPax. I know Elazer does have pretty good PvZ, and considering that he is in EU, I think to have good PvZ, statistically, he'd have to have a decent record against MaxPax. I'm actually curious. I'm going to look it up. Because it sounds wrong.
Yeah, what you're saying to me doesn't make sense. But I want to believe it. Yeah, I'm very curious as well if there is any solid record there from Elazer, because I feel like MaxPax, from what I've seen, his PvZ is top tier.
Yeah, Elazer's actually got a winning record against MaxPax.
Oh, okay.
He's they're 19-16 in matches.
Yeah, pretty interesting. I mean, I'm just quickly checking some of the history. They actually haven't played too much at all this year. They played once this year. And they went to the ace match. MaxPax won in the end, but it went all the way to the ace match. So, yeah, pretty interesting that there's not that much, or they haven't played each other much at all in 2023. But, shouldn't be.
Actually, all right, yeah, it's going to be at MaxPax versus Clem on at Gressvan. We get the best of 3 that we're looking for, and on a fantastic map for TVP as well. This should be extremely dynamic, extremely exciting. I'm really pumped for this one.
Yeah, here we go. So no kind of crazy last-minute changes with the player coming out. No kind of Spirit or Elazer or SKillous or even Namshar. No, it is going to be Game 3 between Clem and MaxPax. Let's go, Poppy. Let's go.
Let's go. This should be really interesting. I think there's a lot of potential on this map for a bit more of a drawn-out macro game, especially for the Terran. I don't think this is a good map for very committed proxy play. I feel like we might be seeing maybe Clem skipping his starport and going for like a 3 racks 1 factory build. I think that could be really good. He does actually play He plays proxy starport Hellion drop a lot. I could see that working here as well.
Yeah, yeah. The question becomes though, is Clem the kind of player to put it all on the line in the ace match for something crazy like that?
Yeah, and Clem's got nerves of steel.
Oh, okay.
I feel like anyone at the top of at this very top level here, just kind of treats these games as just another ladder game almost. Like, I think to perform at the level that these players perform at, there is that kind of difference in personality where they're just very relaxed going into games.
Fair. We'll see if that's going to be the case here as we're going to be loading on in. The players are ready. The casters are in the lobby. Oh boy. And one game is left to decide it all here tonight in WTL. One final best of one.
I reckon that's why Mara is so good as well. Like, he seems legit bored whenever he's playing.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I think that's very specific to Maru though. I don't know. I feel like I don't know if that's we can apply that to Clem. Maybe.
Fair enough. As spawning here in the bottom right hand corner of the map for PSISTORM, it is the Danish phenom himself. This is MaxPax.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Gressfarm, we have the best Terran player in all of Europe representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. Here we go. What do you want to be seeing from Clem here on Gressfarm? You were talking about potentially proxy starport, maybe even into a Hellion drop. That what you're
I want the Elazer build. I want Rax Factory Rax.
Oh,
I think that's a really strong build on this map.
okay. Fair. Has Clem done that before?
He used to sometimes do like a 3 Rax 1 Factory like tank push that was relatively all in, and I think that's a similar enough build. It makes a lot of sense on this map, especially if you're worried about 4-game Blink and you're worried about Phoenix play. It's very strong against Phoenix play, and it's pretty safe against 4-game Blink, so I think it is just a generally pretty solid build choice against someone like MaxPax.
Okay, fair enough. Do you do it?
I haven't done it that much. I don't know if it's like the best ladder build, just because it can get a little bit dicey versus things like DT drops.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. We actually don't really see that too much at the competitive level, but I guess on the ladder, I'm sure.
I think it's really good at competitive level.
Yeah. Because when you're like, you know what, it's okay against Phoenix Obers and it's okay against Blink, and I'm like, oh, that's everything. And then you're like, no, you don't understand.
Yeah, exactly.
Papi.
Yeah.
The apes on the ladder, they're crazy, Papi. They didn't let me play StarCraft.
I need my Raven.
That's fair. I understand. Oh god, as we are getting into our Rax Expand opening here from Clem, did go for a Marine first before going into that reactor. So just making sure that he's safe and sound.
Yeah, very safe play with that bunker with a Marine first. Not always necessary, but I think against a player like MaxPax who does like to send his first few gateway units across the map, it does make sense. We're going to be seeing that Hellion come out as well. He has been favoring this a lot lately just for that scout. And, oh, okay, so it's going to be a 3 Hellion opener. This is cool.
There we go. We have the starport proxied across the map as well. For that drop, as you can imagine, the Hellion being kept back for the time being. Back at home, MaxPax is going for a Twilight Council opener into the link. Yeah.
Interesting that Clem doesn't show the Hellion. I would think that he might actually want to show 1 Hellion just to make it look like he's going for this standard build, just because he does it a lot. He's a big fan of Cure as well, and this is kind of the Cure classic, just playing extremely standard with 1 Hellion to scout. And I think this is a cool mix-up off the back of that.
Yeah, exactly. And for the time being, the Hellions haven't been revealed yet. Once again, they do pull away from the shade, and The medevac is on the way across the map for said drop. Clem has done a decent job at just pushing this adept back and keeping these Hellions hidden for the time being.
Okay, one Hellion does get spotted here. That doesn't necessarily give this away. And there's a few options here. He can go for an 8 Marine drop and send the Hellions in on their own, or yeah, he can do it like this, and it is going to be seen, and he's not pairing it up with the Marines, so interesting.
Yeah, and here we go, the Hellions, they get into the middle line.
He missed a shot.
Hellion is already going to be going down. As you said, he did miss a shot.
Yeah, and with that overcharge, not going to be able to get too much more damage done. He does get the medevac out, though, so it's okay.
Yeah, he does at least save some of those Hellions, and as you said, does preserve the medevac for the time being. The Stalkers are going to be rotating over to try and maybe find a stray medevac, but Clem does at least boost back home.
Yeah, okay, and interesting stuff from MaxPax here. He is actually on 4 gates. Curious to see if he's going to be committing to an attack here. It does look like it,
yeah,
but it's been quite delayed.
It is quite delayed because of that drop, but the Prism is on the way. The Stalkers are rushing across the map. 4 gates. Blink is the opener of choice once again from MaxPax, and Clem has a bunker on the low ground. He has a tank on the high ground as well.
Yeah, there we go. The second tank is going to be popping just in time. He's got a second bunker coming up, so it looks like he has pieced this together at least.
Is fully aware of what is going on, is preparing for it as well. The second tank still not committed to a siege yet, is looking to make sure he gets in position. Meanwhile, MaxPax goes for another warp in. He's looking for that damage. Oh!
Yeah, he's going to take out that bunker, but that's what the second bunker is for, and he will be able to get the those SCVs in position to help heal that. Stim's a long way off, so Clem's got a pretty scary next couple minutes defending this.
Yeah, exactly. One Stalker did go down. The tank does reposition towards the low ground. There's also have 1 for each base. And, oh, it looks like these Stalkers are trying to wedge themselves behind the middle line, trying to get some economic damage. At the same time, Max is looking to blink into the main. Oh!
Yeah, and there's nothing in the main. MaxPax is committing really hard to this. There is a second tank, so that's going to help a lot. But yeah, as I was saying, MaxPax committing super hard to this. Hasn't thrown down a third Nexus. Is going to be fully committing for the damage here. And I think because of the build that he went up against, this kind of makes sense. You know, Stim's going to be a little bit delayed.
Yeah, we do have combat shields being denied. Stim is safe and sound, tucked away and protected by this tank. At the same time, the Stalkers are still trying to find some more damage. They are being forced back. Up.
Oh, and this is a fantastic rotation from MaxPax, really making use of the features of the map, but actually quite a few Stalkers going down, and Stim's about to kick in now, so I think Clem can Stim after this. I don't know if MaxPax is prepared for that, as, yeah, he's used up all his blinks.
He has used up the blinks, and there we go, we do Stim on forward as well. We do take down a lot of Stalkers. Clem isn't able to fully chase that though. MaxPax just committing to another warp, and he does have a third base behind this, a little bit later than we would have expected, but it is on the way.
Yeah, quite a lot later. Clem continuing to produce tanks as well. I don't know if he's spotted this blink into the main as, oh, he's going to be losing that reactor, so Medevac's going to be even more delayed. He could even be losing this starport here if he's not careful.
Yeah, the starport is looking a little bit exposed. We do have the tank in range, in position to force MaxPax back once again. Ooh, as he does load up, and he's going for potentially another warp in towards the main.
Yeah, but Clem anticipates this. Clem's played MaxPax enough times to know that MaxPax likes to split off this 4-Stalker and the Prism as things start to peter out a little bit. So he anticipates that move, and he is getting his third CC behind this. So all in all, I think Clem's done a great job at defending this. Scans the third and sees the probe count there as well. So just piecing together exactly where he is in this game.
Exactly. He's aware of the saturation of MaxPax behind this. Charges on the way. We're going into a Templar Archives for potentially Storm and Archons as well. And MaxPax still isn't done. He's picking up a couple of workers. 3 SCVs do go down. We do disrupt some of the production here of Clem.
Yeah, all right. And you can already see Clem with the movement of his units. He's getting a little bit more nervous now that he's seen that third base to start getting a little bit of map control back.
Yeah, and with that, he's going to be able to force MaxPax back once again. He does want to assert himself. He does want to force maybe even an overreaction out of his opponent, as MaxPax is taking a 4th base as we speak. Interesting.
Yeah. I've always wondered if Clem could maybe find some windows here. It's not really in him to go for SCV pools, but I feel like this would be the perfect kind of situation for that.
Especially considering that there's no real splash damage or no Colossi, there are no Disruptors. We do have Archons on the way, to be fair, but there aren't that many of them, so maybe there would have been some potential for it. As Clem moves out, MaxPax dips in, but doesn't quite get anything.
Yeah, now Storm is on the way for MaxPax. So Clem's got a window here. In the next minute or so, I think any attack is going to do really well. And he is starting to look to move out to go for that. MaxPax is being very attentive with his Stalkers, trying to pick off as much as he can as this moves across the map.
Yeah, exactly. And quite a lot of Marines have fallen here in the process, but the tanks have made it across the map to the third base. We have an overcharge, but the tanks have sieged.
Oh. Imagine an SCV pool here. Be so beautiful.
Alas, we can only see that in our dreams, in our minds, as MaxPax is going for a bit of a Zealot counterattack here. Maybe even looking for a bit of a surround on this army. Uh-oh.
Yeah, oh, that's really cool. He's going to jump on top of the tanks potentially. I think Clem's army is going to reach this in time, but Storm's about to finish.
Storm is now done. We have 2 High Templar in that prism waiting for their moment to shine. And it looks like he's going for it.
Yeah, we do have that prism moving forward rather menacingly. Oh, the targeting from Clem takes down the prism.
Prism does go down, and now MaxPax is in a lot of trouble. The tanks did not go down. The surround didn't work out for him either because the reinforcements did catch them, and now Clem is laying siege upon the third.
Yeah, the patience from Clem is so sick here. I love the Liberator too as a follow-up. That's going to help solidify this. Beautiful stuff from MaxPax as well, using these Zealots just for a little bit of flank and to clean up the reinforcements, and this is the time to go.
Yeah, for a moment there, the tanks were on siege. Zealots, they come in from behind. The tank count has been completely reset. The Liberators are still alive though, so maybe Clem can still push forward.
Yeah, that was a great play from MaxPax, but Clem now, he's pretty overstimmed. He's out of energy on his medevacs as well, but oh my god, look at the micro. Just the way that he dances back and forth. The Zealots cannot touch him.
They really cannot. They focus down the Immortal as well. We have a couple more High Templar coming in, but they do not have enough energy for a Storm.
Yeah, MaxPax is really, Clem is just getting every little bit out of his units here, as he does do. So aggressive here, just stims again and again and again. Just no fear whatsoever, despite his medevacs being pretty much completely out of energy.
Yeah, but now, hey, we have some reinforcements. We now have energy on the medevacs. We have an EMP on said Stalkers as well. Meanwhile, this entire time, High Templar have been gathering energy, and they still, now they have a Storm.
Yeah, and Storm's going to be pretty devastating on this overstimmed army here. The Liberators are still in a very awkward position, and Clem focuses down the Archons too.
He does focus them down. The Stalkers go down just barely as well. It looks like Matt Clem, he's done it. He does break through.
Oof. GG. What an amazing best of 3 from these players. But Clem is going to take it tonight, and that means Liquid will be victorious over PSISTORM.
GG, well played. Congratulations to Clem, to Team Liquid for taking the series in the end. Oh, but it was a close one, went all the way to the ace match, and that's kind of what we expected tonight, because both series went all the way to game number 7. These teams are just such heavy hitters, especially now that PSISTORM has picked up Spirit as well. My god, yeah, what a matchup.
Yeah, as you were saying, I mean, PSISTORM have gone from a team that's a little bit more towards the bottom of the table to some serious contenders for the playoffs just with that pickup. And it's just going to be a question of this race against time to see if they can get those last few wins that they need. And this was, I don't want to say a must win, but a really important stat for both teams here, because they're in a similar spot though.
They really are having a quick look at the standings here. Team Liquid currently in 4th place, PSISTORM currently in 8th place. Oh boy, so very important matches for them. More important for PSISTORM, you can definitely argue for getting into that top 7. And yeah, these next couple of weeks are going to be really rough for PSISTORM Gaming. I think this matchup just showed us how much potential they have as a team. It is a bit of a shame that this potential is being shown towards the end of the round robin group stage.
Yeah, exactly. This does mean that they're in a pretty difficult situation where basically they're going to need a couple wins here in the last few games, and they're also going to need Shopify and Starving Camels to not do as well. So that's that's basically where we're at with PSISTORM. I'm sure, especially with them investing into Spirit, they're going to be looking to get that return on investment in these next few weeks. Meanwhile, for Team Liquid, they are shooting up towards the top of the table. They're closing the gap between themselves and the teams Onside Basilisk, DKZ, and Abydos. So it's going to be between those 5, really, for who's going to be the favorites here to maybe take this down. But got our eyes on those Dark Horse teams too.
Exactly. Dark Horse, even Dark Camels, you could argue. As we'll be casting some of them later on in the day or later on in this weekend. For those wondering, World Team League, Week 8 is now upon us, and that is 3 days of WTL. The first was today, but I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we don't have a WTL tomorrow. I don't think we have one. Yeah, so it's going to be Sunday and Monday instead.
I think. Let me just.
Or is it Monday and Tuesday?
I think it's actually Monday and Tuesday. Yeah.
Oh.
At least if Wikipedia is correct, it's Monday and Tuesday.
Yeah.
It says it's in 2 days and 19 hours.
Okay, so typically WTL is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but we are very accommodating just in case things go a little bit awry, just in case there are some other events that do take precedence and take priority. So it looks like WTL, they're going to be moving some matches to Monday and Tuesday instead, and oh boy, we got a lot of StarCraft to cast. So we're gonna be we're gonna have a little less to cast over the weekend, which is always something that I appreciate. It means we can rest, Papi. Oh, it's gonna be beautiful.
Diablo, we're not resting.
Yeah, do you want to play some Diablo after this? Do you want to?
Yeah.
It's 2 a.m., Papi.
No.
Are you okay?
It doesn't matter. I had the coffee, remember? I can't sleep yet.
Yeah,
but
tomorrow's Saturday.
It is, yeah.
You're like,
anyway.
Wait, that wouldn't have changed anything. I would have stayed up anyway. Oh, okay.
Yeah. It just doesn't matter. This is a really, really good week of World Team League that we have coming up. So only 4 more weeks to go, including this one. And I think pretty much across the board, there's really close matchups that really significant for what happens here. I mean, we've got Shopify Rebellion versus Abydos coming up in that next one, which is going to be really close. And then on the Tuesday as well, we've got IG versus Berserker, who are going to be fighting towards that bottom of the table to see if they can kind of set themselves apart. And Platinum Heroes versus Starving Camels is a massive one. If Platinum Heroes can take the win there, they could possibly try to steal a few more wins and just sneak into that bottom 7 there. Top 7 there.
They could, but I'm looking at the lineups, and Platinum Heroes, once again, they're fielding their non-stop Protoss team. And I appreciate Platinum Heroes and what they do, and I understand, Protoss, it's powerful. It's a good race.
Where's Mix?
Where's Miguelito? Where is the shaft? What are you even living without the shaft? I don't know. It's what's going on?
There's no oomph behind it.
Yeah, there's no there's
exactly.
Oh boy. So of course we're gonna be cheering hard for a lot of these teams, and I hope in the chat you're able to cheer alongside us as well. As a reminder, these matches have been moved over, as far as we can tell, they have been moved over to Monday and Tuesday instead. So we're gonna have a bit of a lighter weekend, but only a little bit, because tomorrow is our next broadcast. We're gonna be live in 11 hours with the KSL, with the Korean StarCraft League. It's gonna be at 1 p.m. AEST. After that, Rice Cup. The Rice Cup is upon us, a bronze to diamond tournament. I say bronze to diamond, I believe Rise has opened it up to 4.4k players, I want to say. He has exceeded the limit to a bit of a higher MMR range, just to be a little bit more accommodating for maybe some of the other lower Masters players that want to get involved.
Yeah, I think he changed it to 4.4 cap, but it has to be on NA.
There you go.
Which is fair, because you can pretty much be GM on NA and 4.4 in Korea.
Smooch, Papi, smooch. But with that, thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Asher, where can people find more of you, Papi? Where can they find you? Is there another grudge match, show match on the horizon, or are we chilling for a little bit?
There isn't. No, we're chilling. We're letting Chappie save a bit of money, save some money for Brisbane. So nothing on the horizon there, but you might have a StarCraft stream at some point.
You should just tell him that, mate. He should just do it again. If he wins, then he can go to Brisbane.
No. I really don't want him to lose any more money. He's lost enough money. We don't need to take Chappie's money. Give him a break.
Just win, forehead. I love you, Chappie. I love you so much. But yeah, if you want to tune into some more Asher content, !AsherBro in the chat for a link to his socials and his Twitter, and his Twitch. I mean, meanwhile, you can follow me out as well, @_VIP on Twitch and Twitter. I do stream throughout the week. I've been streaming every day, but we have been taking a bit of a break from StarCraft over on my stream. We've been playing some Diablo for the past 3 days. It's been a lot of fun. You know, we've been playing a lot of Diablo, but not experiencing any of the story. We'll get there. Don't worry. We'll get there one day. One day. What level are we? We're like 30, 36, 37, 40?
Yeah, something like that. 36, I think.
36, yeah. We'll start Act 1 at some point. We'll get there.
We're ready. We're like we're right on the edge of it. We're one area away.
We're edging, Pap. We're edging. We still have that one dungeon that we need to do. This is the one dungeon that we have to. Yeah. Oh, God. But yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Next broadcast tomorrow, KSL. Make sure you're there. And stick around, as we're going to be giving another lovely StarCraft streamer a bit of a cheeky raid. So give them some support where you can. Until then, Asher, do you have anything you want to say before we head off for the night?
No, just thanks everyone for joining us for a pretty amazing night of games.
There you go. See you guys next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.